everyone. Hope they're doing well after yesterday's phenomenal Glasgow Derby result. 3-1. Daizen Maeda show. Let's break it down. So yeah, 9 minutes in, we were nervous. Rangers had the lead. Mikey Moore had punished us. And for a few minutes that looked like a day where a title challenge was going to unravel, but by full time, Daizen Maeda had produced one of the greatest Glasgow Derby moments of all time. Rangers were beaten 3-1 and the title race was suddenly back in our hands. We'll have a look at Rangers' early threat, our response, VAR, Johnson talking points, Maeda's masterpiece, Martin O'Neill's title message at the end, and what does this mean for Celtic and the Premiership running? Yeah, unbelievable result, troops. Unbelievable result. As always, if you could help us out with the channel, help grow us and get more Celtic content out there. Like the channel, like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, like us on TikTok, all that beautiful stuff. And drop a comment, most importantly, to help us out. So yeah, we all know how massive this game was. We came into the game needing a victory. We had to win after Hearts drew 1-1 with Motherwell on Saturday. And that meant we were now the result means we're just now 1 point behind Hearts with 2 games left, 3 goals in it. And this derby wasn't just about bragging rights. This was a derby with the title race and also probably one of the most important Glasgow derbies for a long, long, long time. I have to say, I thought Rangers had looked decent early on. Tierney was absolutely bullying Austin Trusty. He got an early chance. Mikey Moore fed him an early chance. It just went wide. Then Tierney wins a header against Trusty, and then just drives into the box, gets a shot blocked, and then Moore mops up the chance. And you have to say it was coming, because any time Rangers fired a ball long towards Tierney, Trusty was not dealing with it at all. I think they had the ascendancy early doors. Mikey Moore also had an effort cleared before the play was pulled back for a foul. They were direct, they were aggressive, and they looked to attack us. McCowan, who I was critical of, I thought he was dispossessed in the build-up to Moore's goal, and he's done that before, like kind of put his hands up looking for a free kick when, you know, you play to the whistle. That's what you're told when you're a young boy, young girl, when you're playing football, play to the whistle. Mikey Moore, as we've seen before, it's a danger man on the left-hand side for Rangers, so it was coming, and then, you know, kind of sucked the energy out of the ground a wee bit, and then we were a bit anxious, and for the first 15 minutes, Rangers looked like kind of team with freedom. We were kind of looking as if we had the weight of the world on our shoulders, but 23 minutes in, we make it 1-1. Lovely pass from McCowan, give him his props there, lovely reverse pass, nutmeg one of the Rangers defenders into Arnie Engels, cuts it back, boom, finished by Yang. There was a bit of a VAR check, and in terms of a possible offside, but the goal stood, and I think it kind of stopped Rangers in their tracks in terms of getting a foothold in the game. We did seem to get a little bit of composure back after that early wobble, and I think we started to kind of get some combination plays. McCowan finding Engels cutting it back, and then Yang, boom, arriving centrally. So yeah, great time to score, and it really swung the momentum back into our into Celtic. Obviously the VAR kind of check on the goal was a talking point because of Niegren's position, but it's not as if, my opinion was, it's not as if it's like a free kick and standing right in front of the keeper. The goal was checked, it was allowed to stand, it was a very busy box when the ball got cut back. So that was it. The goal stood, happy days, 1-1, and that's it. The game's still open. The Rangers did have a threat in the break. We started to settle a wee bit, and there was a bit of a calmness to our play. McGregor started to get into it a wee bit more. And then you had the kind of major flashpoint in the first half of Alistair Johnson booked for a challenge on Mikey Moore. Looking at it instantly, he gets the ball, but after seeing a few replays, the follow-through catches him high above the ankle. So I think at the time when I seen it live in real time, I was like, yeah, only a yellow, but if that goes to the monitor, he's a very, very lucky boy. So yeah, I think we got away with we won there, and then we go into half time one each. Still mega stressed, but I don't think the supporters had turned or anything like that. The fans were right up for it. It was a great atmosphere all day, and we come out raring to go in the second half. And as you saw, it became the Maeda takeover, the Maeda show. We changed McCowan, took him off for Taneki, and then we looked a lot better. McGregor was far more instrumental in the middle of the pitch. Tierney and Taneki had a great link-up play on the left-hand side, and that 53 minutes, Maeda made the 2-1. Ball comes out to kind of midfield, Scales picks it up, lofts a ball over down to the byline. Tierney beats the offside with Tavernier. Tavernier's kind of sleeping a wee bit, smashes a ball right across, and then Maeda nips in 2-1. I have to, from a Rangers point of view, you've got to look at Fernandes. He's just jogging back. He's not aware of the threat. And boom, then we're in 2-1 ahead, and then our tails are up. And then literally 4 or 5 minutes later, we get the third goal. And what do you want to say? What do you want to say? This is probably one of the best Glasgow Derby moments. It'll be up there with Larson's chip. For me personally, this was unbelievable. Unbelievable takers, as I say. The moment the Derby will be remembered for. Tareki's ball, it wasn't the greatest of ball in, but the defender just kind of instantly tries to clear it. Looks up, Maeda gets the ball, one touch finish, one touch control, puts the ball above, boom, looping overhead goal, back to goal, dropping. Place goes absolutely mental, and you saw what it meant to him. It just ran away, and it was one of the greatest Old Firm Glasgow Derby goals that you've ever seen. Unbelievable, unbelievable. So I thought Daizen Maeda in the last 4 or 5 games, he's just came into his a real great patch of form, and it's unbelievable to see. He's a phenomenal player when he's on his game. Pressing is unbelievable. There's nobody like him in the game. And also, he had the chances, he was put through, put one wide as well in the first half. So he has his issues with his finishing and stuff, but when he's on his game, you Rangers fans know what he does to Tavernier, what he's done to Tavernier over the years. When he's on his game, he's unbelievable. And I have to say, take my hat off to him. That was unbelievable. What a goal. What a goal. I think that settled us after we went 3-1 up. We seemed to have more control. Rangers did have more of the ball, but I can't really remember them getting much of a chance apart from, was it Majorski? I had a header against the bar near the end, but too little, too late. And having seen some of the Rangers channels, the Rangers comment, they were very similar. They were like making 3 changes after we went 3-1 up was pointless in their point of view. They had the ball, but they didn't really have enough to do with it. They didn't really make us uncomfortable. We kind of held our own, and then we see the game out 3-1. Massive victory for Celtic. Celtic fans doing a huddle, singing Danny Röhl. It was great to see a whole stadium unity as opposed to a graveyard when there's no Green Brigade or Boys Celtic. See what you like about the Green Brigade and their political statements, etc. But they have really brought the fans together. Everybody's pushing for the one outcome, which is Celtic to win a league, which was unheard of. But also, as I mentioned in my other video, we don't have that Wilfred Nancy interruption, and we're nowhere near this level of stress. So yeah, we come out 3-1 winners, meaning we're 1 point behind Hearts on 76 points, 3 goals down. Martin O'Neill, after the game, he had his old head on. I'm talking about resilience and just meaning you had to win. Praised the effort, said the goals came at important times. And we're still in it, we're still fighting, he says, but that Motherwell game is massive game on Wednesday against Motherwell. Very complimentary of Motherwell, as it should be. They're a great footballing team. Jens Bertoaska is a great manager. He's playing some phenomenal football, and Martin O'Neill knows that he is in for a game on Wednesday, as you saw with Hearts on Saturday night as well. Looking from a Rangers point of view, Danny Röhl, as always, big disappointment. not sharp enough in the key defensive moments. They need to learn. The Rangers fans are done with him, I think, from a general consensus. Unlucky start for Danny Röhl as well. He became the first Rangers manager to lose 3 games in a row since Africa in 2000, and that's Rangers season effectively over, with 3rd place guaranteed, and no European football. I think they're waiting on Celtic to win the Scottish Cup. If we win a double, then they're into the Conference League or something like that, which is a massive financial hit. But hey, it's all about Celtic. Daizen Maeda, man of the match. I've watched his goal back, unique angle from Celtic about 500 times, and I'll never tire of watching that. Unbelievable goal from Daizen Maeda. And just, yeah, one of the most amazing Glasgow Derby moments. So yeah, what does that mean for the title race, troops? We are 1 point behind Hearts on 77, Rangers are 3rd on 69. The run in is beautifully set up. We go to Motherwell, Hearts play Falkirk, and then we've got Hearts on the final day. That will be phenomenal. But it'll only be phenomenal if we win against Motherwell. If we get beat against Motherwell and Hearts win against Falkirk, they've won a title. So we've not won the league. We've dragged it back into our own hands. We beat Motherwell and beat Hearts at Celtic Park, and then that's us champions again, which was unlikely when you were having the Wilfred Nancy disaster. 8 games, 1 win, 7 defeats, etc. So yeah. So thanks once again for your support on the channel, troops. Thank you for helping us out. Love your support. Help us grow. Like, share, all that carry on. Just a little final thought was Maeda's overhead kick, the defining goal of the season. Our hearts now feeling Celtic's breath on their neck. Get your comments in below, because I think after the day, the title race is going to heat up to an absolute phenomenal finish. Brilliant. Thanks a lot. All the best.
Celtic, Glasgow!